Have you ever wondered what the rich know and do differently that puts them in a higher financial level? And what is it that they don't want you to discover about the real path to prosperity? Today, we are going to reveal the secret that, if you know how to use it to your advantage, can completely transform your financial life. It's not about magic formulas or shortcuts, but rather a mindset that the rich keep secret. It's a mindset of continuous learning, embracing mistakes as opportunities, and always striving for more. Robert Kiyosaki, in his book Fake, brings to light the true difference between the rich and ordinary people, and you're about to discover what no one tells you. Ready to take the first step toward financial success? Have you ever stopped to think about what makes some people so successful throughout life, while others remain stuck? The answer isn't magic or luck. It's in continuous learning. Remember the three wise men who were recognized for their wisdom? They weren't wise because they had money or great wealth, but because they were always in search of new knowledge, new experiences. That's what defines a wealthy mindset, the willingness to learn your whole life. These wise men are proof that true wealth comes from knowing how much you still have to grow. Always. Continuous learning has no limits, and if you're willing to adopt this mindset, success will follow. Throughout life, you'll learn just as much from your successes as from your failures. Because yes, true learning comes from mistakes and challenges. It's not about being perfect, but about growing with each mistake and using that as fuel for your future. Every step you take toward learning is an investment in your financial freedom. The transformation begins when you accept that there's always more to learn. Have you ever caught yourself saying, "I already know enough"? Well, if you think that way, you're limiting your own growth. Successful people, those who create wealth and achieve success, never stop learning. They seek mentors, read books, watch videos, and most importantly, they practice. So, if you want to change your financial life and reach new heights, understand that continuous learning is not just an option, it's a necessity. Start now and watch how the doors to prosperity open for you. When it comes to learning about money and prosperity, you need to be mindful of who you consider your teacher. The big difference between a real teacher and a fake teacher lies in the experience each one brings. The real teacher isn't limited to theories or books. They share the lessons learned from mistakes and successes, from battles fought and won. They teach by example, showing how you can learn and grow practically. A fake teacher, on the other hand, relies only on theoretical content, far removed from the reality of those fighting on the financial battlefield. True learning, the kind that produces real results, comes from practice. When you face a challenge, that's when the learning happens. The mistakes you make are invaluable lessons, and real teachers know that. They encourage you to allow yourself to make mistakes, learn from them, and most importantly, apply what you've learned to achieve success. The real teacher isn't afraid to show the scars left by their own mistakes, because it's through those that they became stronger and smarter. Those life lessons make all the difference. Throughout your journey, you will encounter many teachers who seem to have the answer to everything, but lack the necessary life experience to teach authentically. These are the fake teachers. They may offer advice and formulas, but they lack the crucial ingredient: practical experience. If you want to develop a rich mindset, learn from those who have experience in the real-life battle, not from those who just repeat theories that have never been applied. Be critical when choosing who will guide you on this journey. In school, we were taught to avoid mistakes at all costs, as if they were something to be feared. When we make a mistake, we are corrected, reprimanded, and it gives us the sense that failing is synonymous with failure. But real life is very different. In the world of business, investing, and financial prosperity, mistakes aren't seen as failures. but as learning opportunities. Those who have found financial success have likely made countless mistakes before they got to where they are. These mistakes weren't an obstacle, they were a springboard for growth. While school aims to mold minds that don't make mistakes, real life demands the opposite. Learning how to deal with mistakes, learn from them, and keep going without giving up is the true secret to success. In the real world, life doesn't give you a second chance to take the test again, but it gives you endless opportunities to try again, adjusting your strategies and going after your goals. Every mistake is a lesson to be absorbed and applied wisely. Those who make mistakes and learn from them become stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the next challenges. That's why formal education often doesn't prepare people for financial success or freedom. It may teach you how to memorize formulas and pass tests, but it doesn't teach you how to handle the ups and downs of real life. And when you leave school, you're faced with a completely different reality, where the only way to grow is by learning from your mistakes and overcoming challenges. If you truly want to learn about money and prosperity, get ready to make mistakes and use them as fuel for your evolution. When we talk about the difference between the rich and ordinary people, the first thing that comes to mind is money, of course. But the real dividing line between these two groups isn't the amount they have, it's how they handle money. While many ordinary people see money as something to be saved, stored, and protected, the rich have a completely different mindset. They see money as a tool to make more money. What do the rich do differently? They invest, take calculated risks, and make money work for them. For the rich, true wealth comes from mindset, not from the bank account. Another big factor that separates the rich from ordinary people is the use of credit. For most people, debt is a burden to be avoided at all costs. However, the rich know how to use credit to their advantage, utilizing smart debts like loans for investments to leverage their gains. Instead of fearing debt, they learn to use it as leverage to increase their wealth. The rich understand that, with the right knowledge, debt can be one of the greatest allies on the path to financial prosperity. Unlike ordinary people who often fall into the trap of paying off their debts without understanding how to use them strategically, the rich know that, if guided correctly, credit can be the key to multiplying their money. Additionally, the rich know that financial success is not something that can be achieved alone. They surround themselves with specialized financial teams, lawyers, accountants, consultants, and even other investors. These professionals help them make more informed and strategic decisions, ensuring that their money is well allocated. On the other hand, most ordinary people rely on advice from friends, family, or even financial advisors without really having a clear understanding of what to do with their money. The big difference here is that, while ordinary people operate alone, the rich know that to achieve great financial feats, they need a good team by their side. When it comes to debt, many ordinary people already feel a chill. Society, in general, teaches us from a young age that debt is the villain, something to be avoided at all costs. This may be true for most people who end up in debt impulsively and without control. But in the world of the rich, debts are seen in a completely different light. The rich are not afraid of debt. On the contrary, they understand that debts, when used correctly, can be a powerful tool to increase their wealth. This is the case when using loans to acquire assets, such as real estate or stocks, which will generate long-term financial returns. Banks, in turn, play a crucial role in this process. For ordinary people, the bank is just a place to store money and take out a loan when necessary. For the rich, the bank is a strategic partner. They know how to take advantage of banking services, such as lines of credit and financing, to fund their investments and expand their businesses. The secret lies in understanding that the bank can be more than just a simple financial intermediary. It can be an ally in creating wealth. When you know how to use leverage intelligently, with the help of banks, the journey toward financial freedom becomes much faster. It's important to emphasize that while ordinary people are taught to avoid debt and live with a tight budget, the rich know that the real problem isn't the debt itself, but how it's managed. The difference lies in the mindset. While many see debt as a burden, the rich see it as an investment opportunity. For the rich, the key is knowing when and how to take out loans, as well as understanding the power of compound interest and credit. By doing so, a simple loan can be transformed into a tool to generate more wealth and expand the investment portfolio. When we think about taxes, the first thing that comes to mind is the idea that they are something we must pay without question, right? Most people automatically follow this mindset, believing that taxes are fair and necessary for the well-being of society. However, what many don't realize is that, in reality, the rich often avoid paying taxes, or, at least, pay much less than the rest of us. The secret behind this lies in the strategies they use to minimize their tax obligations. They don't necessarily break the law, but rather take advantage of legal loopholes, such as setting up businesses and investments that allow them to pay lower taxes. In fact, the American Revolution, which was sparked by a revolt against taxes, shows just how much this system has always been questioned. When a select group of people feels unfairly burdened, the reaction tends to be extreme. And in the case of the rich, that revolt is transformed into a skill in avoiding or minimizing taxes through smart financial strategies. These individuals have a deep understanding of how tax laws work and how to strategically position themselves within them to ensure they pay as little as possible. The big secret is that the rich don't pay taxes the same way ordinary people do. They take advantage of loopholes in the system, creating a tax structure that, in many cases, favors large companies and investments. While you, probably, pay taxes on your salary and small earnings, the wealthiest usually pay taxes on the profits generated by their companies, which are calculated in a completely different way. The system, though it seems fair, ends up favoring the wealthy, and it's crucial to understand these rules to avoid falling into the trap of unfair taxation. In a world where many try to hide their mistakes and failures, the concept of learning from one's own stumbles is something many still don't grasp. The truth is that, contrary to what we are taught in schools, where mistakes are seen as negative, real life is a true school of learning through failures. We all make mistakes, and it's precisely through them that we evolve, mature, and become more prepared to face new challenges. However, society tends to marginalize mistakes, making people feel ashamed and sometimes even guilty for failing. But what if you thought differently? What if you saw mistakes as opportunities, as a chance to learn and improve? That's exactly what the great masters of the real world teach. Life is not about being perfect, but about learning each day from our mistakes. The wealthiest, the people with a prosperous mindset, understand this and use their mistakes as fuel for success. They know that the path to financial success is full of stumbles, and that by embracing these mistakes, they can reach the top. They don't beat themselves up for making a mistake, but instead learn from it and strive to improve with each step. Enter the spiritual aspect. Many believe that God or the universe teaches us through our failures. The mistake, therefore, is not seen as a punishment, but as a learning tool. When we make a mistake, we're not being judged, but rather guided to seek truth and continuous improvement. This spiritual view of mistakes transforms how we deal with failures. Instead of despairing or feeling guilty, we can learn to see mistakes as part of our journey of evolution. It's this growth mindset, seeing mistakes as lessons, that allows us to become stronger and more resilient, moving forward toward our goals with confidence and wisdom. When we talk about resilience, We often think about being strong and enduring challenges without giving up. But true resilience isn't just about enduring difficulties, it's about learning from them and using them as a springboard for personal growth. Imagine two people facing a problem. One reacts passively, accepting the situation without questioning, while the other uses the difficulty as an opportunity to reinvent themselves. What we see is that truly resilient people don't just overcome, they evolve through difficulties. They understand that every challenge has something to teach, and that obstacles aren't barriers, but stepping stones to a new level of awareness and skill. The metaphor between chickens and eagles illustrates this point well. Chickens are resilient but don't grow. They survive, but they stay in the same place, without learning from challenges. They don't have the ambition to go beyond their comfort zone. On the other hand, eagles have a completely different behavior. They face the wind and storms with their heads held high, knowing that these challenges will strengthen them and prepare them for new horizons. The eagle isn't afraid to venture out, even if the path is uncertain. It understands that growth comes from adapting to challenges, not from running away from them. This difference between chickens and eagles is crucial for anyone who wants to achieve financial and personal success. If you want a life of prosperity and freedom, you need to develop an eagle's mindset. It's no use wanting success without being willing to face and learn from challenges. Life will test you, it will challenge you, but that's what will transform you. And instead of lamenting your mistakes or failures, how about seeing each of them as an opportunity to grow? Like eagles, we can soar higher when we learn to face strong winds with courage and determination. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, are you an eagle or a chicken? It may seem like a simple question, but it carries enormous weight, especially when we think about how our choices shape our future. Chickens live in a safe, comfortable way, never leaving their comfort zone and never truly facing life's winds. They're not willing to take risks or learn from challenges. In contrast, eagles soar high and embrace challenges as opportunities to learn. They know that in order to grow, they must leave their comfort zone and face whatever comes ahead, even if it means crossing storms. The big secret behind the eagle mindset is just this: the willingness to learn from each experience, especially the toughest ones. Every mistake made is a chance to acquire valuable learning. It's not about avoiding mistakes, but using them as tools to refine what you already know and how you deal with obstacles. Are you ready to make those choices? Are you willing to take the necessary risks to achieve great results? Life, just like money, requires tough decisions and moments of discomfort. But with the right mindset, those moments become learning experiences, and learning, in turn, turns into success.